What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are on a fantastic day today. And today we have a very exciting video for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we finally have a much anticipated video I've been really excited to make. Today we have my very first Shapeways unboxing. So I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this many times in the airport updates. I have been planning to get some Shapeways models for a while. I'll kind of explain as we go throughout this video what my intent with the Shapeways models are. I kind of explained in previous airport updates, so you can check those out. But anyways, really excited to finally get some Shapeways models. We have quite a few in here. This is my very first order from Shapeways, first impressions and all that fun stuff. Really excited to get into today's video. So yeah, here we go with the first ever Shapeways order for me. So if you don't know, Shapeways is a 3D printing service website that makes a variety of items, including model aircraft. They make all kinds of stuff, but I'll talk about the model airplane stuff because, I'll talk about the model airplane stuff because that is what we're here for today. So they make a variety of aircraft and buildings and all kinds of GSE, GSE, I think as well. But really cool. The main three aircraft types they have civil, general aviation, and military stuff. Obviously, general aviation and military, even to a degree, on the smaller stuff, is very hard to represent in the 1:400 scale since it's so small. Shapeways has filled that void very well. Their aircraft, they 3D print them so you can 3D print anything at this point, and they have done that with these very small model aircraft. Now, there's, I think, 6 or 7 planes in here, and this box is really small, believe it or not. That's it. There's my hand. I mean, it's just a nice little small box. Or actually it does not say on here, rest in peace, but yeah, it's a really small box. This is the Shapeways box. It comes with the tape and everything. Their ordering process is a little harder. It's kind of weird to get through, but once you get it done, it works well. This initially shipped on USPS, but then was transferred over to USPS and came to the post office box. So yeah, really excited. I'll talk about all my plans at the end, but I'm sure you guys want to see the actual unboxing. So let's get it started, guys. Like I said, super excited. They have their very special Shapeways tape, so it's not very hard to mix up boxes. As I'm sure you guys may have saw on the front, this one came from somewhere in New York. For all the model aircraft stuff, there's one guy, I think all the ones in this box are from him, he does a lot of model aircraft between the 3 big aircraft types, GA, civil, and military. So yeah, the majority of those are from him. It's like IAN or something. But yeah, anyways, let's get it rolling, guys. First impressions of Shapeways. All right, here we go. Been really excited to get some Shapeways models, and this is the beginning. I'm going to slip that out because that probably has information on it. I'm just going to slip out that bubble wrap. Okay, no aircraft came out on that. They come out in these little plastic bags. So here we go. Let's get it started. Let's start with this one. This is the, it does not say. All right. I cannot see what's in there. Maybe it's the, I'll talk about everything we've ordered, but I'll kind of just let it be a surprise. Let's see. Okay, I believe these are 4 Cessna 172, probably 4 Cessna 172s. Wow, that is correct. We have 4 Cessna 172s in here. I'm gonna have to cut those out. I will do that off camera, but here's the initial impression. They are tiny. They are small. I mean, they are finger small. I mean, that is crazy. I'll cut these out in a minute, but I will not waste the time doing that. We'll start with the initial impression unboxing. Okay, this looks like a PC-12. I'll kind of just go over everything. So we had the 4 Cessna 172s. I think this order was about $80 total, so there's quite a bit in here. And this one, let me just move that bag over there. And this one, sorry for hitting the camera. And this one we have, okay, these are my 2 Cessna Citation 560s. Now, I ordered quite a variety. I know a lot more about GA than I did when I made this order. In fact, this has been really sitting for a while. I've wanted to do this video for a while. This shipped on, let's see if I have a date. Where's the date? Come on. Well, rest in peace. But I want to say it was around mid-February. But anyways, here we have 2 Cessna Citation 560s. Very small, but those are very common. So those were a perfect GA aircraft to start with, but there's a couple more as well. And here, finally, some bigger aircraft. We have 2 Bombardier Acer D-900s. I'll talk about my plans with those in a second. Those look really good. Dang, I'm very impressed. Wow, how about that? Let's see what else we have in here. Okay, this one is probably either the PC-12 or the Challenger 300. It's a 300 or 350. I'll have to double check. I think it's 300. This is the PC-12. I think it's pretty small. Let me see. There we go. This is indeed the PC-12. No cutting out to do. That is tiny, man. That is really small. Dang. So that is the PC-12. And let's see. This is the Challenger 300. Wow, look at that. I like that. That looks really, really good. They have some different textures to print out in. I'll talk about why I didn't order some military stuff in this order. It actually has to do with the printing. But there's that Challenger 300 or 350, whichever one it is. I'm going to take a guess it's Challenger 300, but I'll double check. And then finally, we should have two Ember ERJ135s. Look at that. Wow. Dang, okay. I'm really impressed to begin. So here is all the Shapeways aircraft. Let me remove that. And I'm going to start cutting and get these all out. And we're going to take a look at everything. I'm very impressed initially. This is awesome. I'm going to cut everything out, and then we'll start doing some impressions and stuff. Alrighty guys, so I wanted to show you this while I was doing it, so if you guys were wondering, they come in those little cradles, and I'll show you with the Citations here in a minute, how I cut them out. But as for the popping off, it's not too hard. You just got to be very gentle. But they have really light pieces here on the bottom, as you can see. So all you have to do is like just pry off from the back, and they'll just come straight off like that. And your model or whatever 3D printed item it is will be in good shape. But anyways, I got all four of the Cessnas. Now I will do the Citations on the. Actually, we do have one more. Let me see if I can get that off. It should just come right off. There we go. I'll show you with the Citations how it works, or how I do it. So I actually just took a pair of fingernail clippers, just washed them and made sure they were all good. And here's what I did. So I just go on the corner very gently and just cut and make another cut. And then these actually were not on those little prior things. So sorry, I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom it out a little bit. So, and I'm sorry if the audio sounds like crap right now, but yeah, we can just pry these out of here very gently. And there we go. There's our Citations. Very common aircraft. Those will be great. And I'll talk about those more in a little bit as we do the review. So that should be all the small stuff out of the way. And now it should be a lot easier to do these. So we'll start with our Ember 135s. These are going to be great. Let me see if I can get these out. There we go. And now, and there's our PC-12. And then here are the those. So these should, actually, did they just pop off? Alrighty guys, so here are the 3D printed Shapeways models that we have in my very first order. As you can tell, we have quite a few. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 models here. $80, so not too bad at all. So as you can tell, we have a variety of aircraft. Really excited to get into everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through every aircraft, review it briefly, and then I'm going to tell you guys my plans for that model, and then I'm going to talk about some future plans for more Shapeways models as well while we do this unboxing and review. So everything snapped out. I would be very careful with it. That's what I did, and everything ended up working out. I had to be very delicate just to make sure I didn't break anything, especially those small Cessnas. But as you can tell, we have a variety of aircraft. And I'll talk a little bit more about Shapeways and all their options here in a second. But we're just going to run through everything we have here and then talk about everything. Alrighty, so right here we have 4 Cessna 172s. These are by far one of the smallest things I've ever seen. Here's my fingernail of my index finger, and that kind of puts it into retrospective. They are probably barely an inch long, which is absolutely insane. Obviously you can't really see them, but I will zoom in on one to attempt to review. So I'm going to talk about why those are both tipping back and why these aren't. I'm sure you guys may be able to tell, but yeah, we're going to attempt to review one of these little guys, and let's see if we can succeed. There's not a whole lot, but there is some to go over that you can kind of see. So in the front here, I'm going to use the back of the knife, or this piece of the knife, I guess. We got the propeller, and then you would have where the cockpit windows would go. You have the landing gear down here looking good. You have your wings, and then you have the rest of the fuselage. Very small, like I said, just a little comparison. And then you have the tail, and then you have your horizontal stabilizers. Now you guys are probably wondering why there's a little piece on the back of this one and there's not on this one. So when I was breaking them off, sometimes, or on these two, the piece didn't come off, but on those two they did, the back piece that held them on. I like the back piece because obviously it keeps them from being tail heavy, because as you can tell, if you tip them up, they will not stay on their upright because of how weighted they are in the back. So what I think my plan will be is I'm going to try to glue that back piece back onto the other two, or maybe we'll leave one for takeoff and landings, I guess, if you will, and use it like that so they're not tail heavy. I'm glad these two stayed on, and that's going to be perfect. As for liveries, here's or the customizability, because obviously that kind of is what makes it fun. So obviously with the Cessna 172s, it's going to take obviously with all these models, there's I'm sure you guys are probably wondering if I'm going to just use them blank or if I'm going to try to customize them, and answers vary for that. Most of them I'm going to try to customize, and I'll talk about that with the Cessnas. So obviously we have 4 Cessna 172s right here. Now obviously this thing is small, but what my plan is, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, I'm going to try my best, but what I think I'm going to try to do is I think I'm going to try to do on all 4 of them cockpit windows, and try to do the big window down here under the wing, if I can even show you guys. It's so small right there. And then I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a couple lines with paint, actual paint on really small brushes. So maybe like a blue line for one, green or something for the other. I think it's pushing it, trying to do any registrations or anything with how small they are after observing. So I think what I'm going to try to do is try to paint a few lines and see if I can make that happen. And if not, I'll just use them like this, just nice and clear how they are. Now as for all white stuff and the texture of it or a different color, here's what the situation is. So on these really small models, Shapeways has a variety of options on most of their aircraft between all white, clear like this, or there's a grayish color that you can also get, and then I think there's a black as well. So on the small ones, the only option was the clear, so obviously that's what I did. But what I wanted to do, and I'll talk about it a little bit more on the military, is obviously those are really small. Most or some of them are. Some of the military aircraft are really small, and I really wanted to get a, I really wanted to do the gray on those because it would make it a lot easier, because obviously that's the default color of most of the military aircraft, and that was unfortunately not an option for some of them. And I'll talk about the examples I'm talking about in a minute. But as for these, there's no other option. I tried to contact the guy to see if it was even possible, and I could not get the contact button to work, so I just ultimately decided to go with these. And that's kind of where we're at with the Cessnas. Now I'll show you guys all the other aircraft. And here are my 2 Cessna Citation 560s. If you guys are not very aware with general aviation, we don't really cover it here, so I'm going to cover it a little bit more, but we will be in the future a lot, especially in the spotting vlogs. If you guys are unaware, the Cessna Citation 560 is one of the most popular general aviation aircraft out there. It's kind of funny because I didn't even know that when I made the order. I just noticed seeing a lot of 560s, so I thought it would be perfect for the commonality, and I made the right choice because there's a ton of Cessna Citation 560s. So your most common GA private jets are the Cessna Citation 560, the Challenger 300 is very common. And then outside of that, you have quite a few Hawkers, and then there's quite a few Learjets as well in different variants. But Cessna Citation 560 is probably one of the most popular private jets. So this ultimately ended up working out really well for me. I got 2 because they came in a set of 2 for like, I want to say $11 or something. Here's my fingernail to compare. And as you can tell, they're a little bigger for sure. They look really, really good. So obviously, like I said, I would have probably got all white to make it a little easier on the customization. I'll talk about that a little bit more with the Challenger 300. But obviously, they only had the clear option, so I did the clear. And it did work out really well. I'm very happy with these. Now, my plan for customization is, if you guys are unaware, there's quite a few big quite a few big general aviation branches, just like airlines, but they're for private jets. We're going to talk about this more in the future. I actually have some potential collaboration ideas in mind, involving some people that know more about these GA airlines that we'll talk about it more in depth and potentially do a introduction video to these airlines. But I'm going to briefly explain it right now so it makes sense. So in general aviation, you have a few airlines that you guys may have seen throughout. So they're kind of like the civil airlines, but they are for private jets, if you will. So we'll just put it like that. And there's kind of there's a few big companies, but there's quite a few that come to mind that I would like to represent with these models. The biggest airline in the private jets realm in the United States is NetJets, and I'm sure you guys probably have seen the name, but you guys may not know what it is. NetJets is a huge private jet corporation. They have a ton of aircraft, and then you also have ExoJet, FlexJet, and then Wheels Up is another one. There's quite a few big private jet companies that fly to airports in real life a ton. Whether that be for private operations or corporations, they fly to all these airports, like I said. And so NetJets has a bunch of Cessna Citation 560s. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure FlexJet does not. I could be wrong on that, and I want to say ExoJet does not either, and I could be wrong on that, so please excuse me if I am, but I'm pretty sure only NetJets out of those. Wheels Up does have these, I believe. Wheels Up has a variety of liveries, but this is not really the time to go into that. Hopefully you guys know these 4 big companies that I'm talking about, so it makes sense. So my plan for these is I think I'm going to make one of these just like the Cessnas, one of these just like a private aircraft, just one blue stripe or something. And then I think I'm going to attempt to do a NetJets on the other one, a NetJets Cessna Citation 560. I think that's a really good plan because obviously there's a ton of NetJets Cessna Citation 560s. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure, I know for sure they have a plethora of 680s, but I'm pretty sure NetJets has the 560s. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure they have quite a few 560s. If not, I may do a Wheels Up, but that would be really hard to get the text on there. But anyways, my plan for the Cessna Citation 560 customization is I'm thinking one private and one NetJets or something like that. That's the plan as of right now. So that is the Cessna Citation 560s. And before we move on, let's do a quick review of the Cessna Citation 560 by Shapeways, if you will, in the 1:400 scale. So obviously you have the nose with the very extended nose, how the 560 has it. And then you have the nose wheel, and then the cockpit windows would be right here, the L1 boarding door, and then you have all your passenger windows, and then you have the very unique wing design of the Cessna Citation 560, and then you have your engines right here, and then you have the tail that extends up, and then you have the tail fin, vertical stabilizer, and then your horizontal stabilizers. Here's a look around the model. These are not tail heavy, luckily, so that's awesome. Really, really nice, honestly. For how small it is, I'm very impressed. It looks really good. Here's the bottom of the aircraft. Obviously no standle, but it looks really, really nice, and I'm very impressed with it. So great job, Shapeways, for getting awesome job here on the Cessna Citation 560. Alrighty, so here's the PC-12. There's quite a few of these PC-12s as well flying around. I'm going to explain my main reason because I probably would have got something else, but I decided to go for the PC-12 for one main reason. So like I said, this is the PC-12 in 1/400 scale. There are quite a few of these, but you know, they're just like any other prop kind of, but there's quite a few of them. Now, obviously there are quite a few flying. Crap, I keep repeating myself, sorry. Anyways, like I said, there's quite a few of these flying, and I thought that would be a cool aircraft to get. Now, there was one main factor why I decided to go for one PC-12. It came in a one set, I think. So obviously, if you guys are unaware, there's also another company that makes decals called V1 Decals. They make a variety of decals for aircraft to do custom models with. And ironically, I'm not going to get into it too much right now. I'll briefly touch on it at the end of the video. But ironically, they had PC-12s on their website, decals. So they make decals for model aircraft, and you can just stick them onto your aircraft just like so. And here they had PC-12s. It was the only GA plane that they had, to my knowledge. I'm going to show you guys. Let me zoom out here. So I ordered one of the decals for the PC-12. I think they only had 2 options, and I decided to go with this one because I thought it looked the most generic. It's a Canadian PC-12. There's the picture of it. It's the Royal Canadian Mount Police RCMP, and that's what it looks like, if you will, kind of just like that. It looked the most generic. There was another one that looked very good, or how should I word it? There was another one that looked nice, but it wasn't as generic, so I thought this one would be the good one. They only have 2 PC-12s on there as of right now, but I thought it would be perfect to put on this model. Obviously, they're both in 1/400 scale, so I thought, why don't I take a stab at it? And I think it's going to turn out really good. I'll keep you guys informed. That's going to be by far the easiest one because I already have the decals, as you saw. I'm just going to pop them on there, and they're going to look really good, and I'm really pumped to see how that ends up turning out. So that will probably be one of the first GA models to make it into the model airport. I plan to roll these out probably in right around the corner, probably next week in April, or actually maybe this week, because Friday will be Albuquerque. It should be, if this comes out next week sometime. I'm recording this March 25th. So sometime next week, this video should be coming out, or this week. But Albuquerque should be coming out, and this will probably make an appearance. So the rest of these we're still working on. So let's talk about the final GA aircraft in this order, and I'll kind of briefly talk all around on GA. Alrighty, so here's that Challenger. I'm gonna check the invoice to see what it's called. All right, here's the invoice. It is a Challenger 300. Okay, so there are some slight differences, but there's mainly 300s and 350s. This is a Challenger 300. And then we had 4 Cessna 172s, 2 Cessna Citation 560s, and then we had a 135, PC-12, and CRJ900. Okay, so this is our Challenger 300. Now, this is in that white texture that they have the option on Shapeways, so it looks really good, as you can tell. Now, it is quite significantly bigger. Here's my index finger. It is quite big. It is more the size of a CRJ200 almost. Not quite that big, but it's very similar, if you will. It looks really good. I'm very pleased with it. So, unfortunately, V1 Decals doesn't do any other general aviation aircraft besides PC-12s. So what I decided to do was, I think for this one's going to be a lot easier to have here's how I'm going to word this. This one will be a lot easier to do full-on decals for, if you will. So my plan for the other GA aircraft is kind of just to paint on them and try maybe to do some window decals. But on this one, I think I actually will. This one actually will have the ability to I can probably do a Google Doc and paste in some windows foils and all that fun stuff, and potentially actually a livery, and literally can tape it on there and actually do it, because the other ones are way too small to make that happen. But this one I think is big enough for that to happen. So as of for the Challenger 300, now the 350 is very similar. So NetJets is that big private jet brand that I was talking about, like I mentioned. My original plan for this one was potentially being NetJets. I believe they only have 350s in their fleet. The difference is so slight, I may just rock with the NetJets Challenger 300 on this one. Even though they only have 350s, but they're so similar, it would be pretty close. So I think you could use that as a 350. Exojet and FlexJet both have the Challenger 300, the actual 300 to my knowledge. I don't think Wheels Up does, but I may be wrong on that. So Exojet's livery is all silver. It would be, or all gray, all silver. It would be really hard to do it on a foil. It may be possible on a Google Doc. I would have to mess around with it, but I think I would have a lot more luck with NetJets because their livery is a lot similar. A lot easier. FlexJet has one big stripe. It would be possible for sure, but I'm gonna have to mess around with that and see if it would be possible. But and I may make this one a private one. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of options for it. These are really cool aircraft. Now this one's white, so it will look good with the decals, and I can actually tape it on there. So I think I'd have a lot of luck taping on decals onto this one, and it's not tail heavy, so it looks really good. So that's Challenger 300. You have your nose here with the cockpit windows, you have your nose landing gear, and then you have the fuselage, your nice wings, and then your engines and your tail. And on the bottom side right here, you have the landing gear as well. So my main plan for this one, I think, will be ultimately, I think I will try to do NetJets because they're so popular. The other two are popular, but they're not near as popular as NetJets. So that's what I'm thinking for this one. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations. And now we're going to head into some more known territory with the civil aircraft back there. I'll talk about potential future GA aircraft from Shapeways in a minute, but let's do the other aircraft first. Alrighty, so here are the two Ember ERJ135 that I ordered. Now, I'm sure you guys probably may have an assumption of why I decided to order the Ember ERJ135. Here it is. It's looking really nice. So obviously, nobody in the big 1 to 400 companies, I think, have any 135 molds. So here's kind of my logic. So I'm sure you guys may know of some of my West Coast airports, Orange County, Reno, and all those guys. So Phoenix. So all those guys. So here's kind of the thing. If you guys don't know, there's a smaller airline called JSX. They fly quite a few Ember ERJ135s and 145s. So I have wanted to have a proper JSX model for a while because they fly a lot, especially to Orange County, but they also do a lot of Phoenix and Reno, and it's always been a missing element. So what I've wanted to do is make a custom model, and I thought that these Shapeways models would be perfect because they're already white. So all I have to do is literally make window decals and the cockpit windows, do the landing gear a little bit, touch them up, and then put the JSX decals on there, and it would be literally a JSX ERJ135. Now, these come in 2 packs, so I was intending on doing one, but I think I found a use for the other one. So obviously there's not too many carriers with the 135, there are a few. So I have a couple options. So I'll kind of briefly mention them, but I think you guys probably will know which one I'm leaning towards. I mentioned it in one of the videos, I think. So obviously you have a lot of charter 135s in a variety of liveries, kind of like GA, they just have a stripe or something. I thought about that, but I think what I'm going to do with this other 135 is I think I'm going to do a Contour. Contour Airlines, just like JSX, is another small airline that have operations. They're kind of universal all across the United States. JSX is more West Coast and some Midwest. So I think I'm going to do a Contour because they fly to Phoenix a lot, so it would be a perfect void to fill with the second one that I wasn't planning to use, but they would be perfect for the 135s I ordered from Shapeways. Now, like I said, I could do a charter one, but I think it makes more sense to do Contour. I believe they have 135s, but it may just be 145s, but I think they have 135s, which this would be perfect. Now, it's going to be a little harder, but I think if I get some good printing going, I think I'll be able to do it if I find some clear decals and stuff. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm really excited to embark it. I think it's going to be really good. But I feel like both these are going to go really well. I hope to have them both ready by the next updates, but obviously we have quite a few models here to customize. So that's the goal. I'm really, really excited to see how it goes down, and I'm going to be eager to see what you guys think. But yeah, here are the two Ember ERJ135s. Last but certainly not least, we have the CRJ-900s. Really, really excited to have these, as these are going to be a huge asset. As I'm sure you guys know, there have not been many CRJ-900s made in 1-400. Obviously, finally, Gemini jets finally dropped the bomb with the Delta, but there hasn't been any for a while, if you know what I mean. So I decided to order these because I had one main intent for them. I could do quite a few things with them, just like the 135s, but I had a real intent for these. So obviously, with the all-white color, it's really easy to do this. But what I think I'm going to do with these is I think I'm going to turn them, like I mentioned in that January Orange County update, into the Mesa House livery. I thought that would be a really simple custom to do. Obviously, we are very, very big time looking for the CRJ-900 for Dallas and Phoenix model airports, of course, and then some of the smaller airports I also have would really benefit from having the Mesa CRJ-900. So obviously, the American Eagle livery would be very difficult to do. I don't even know how I would attack that, to be quite honest with you, on a model like this. They, I think, do have a gray option on Shapeways. However, I don't know if that gray looks anything like the American Eagle gray. Now, obviously, it would be kind of easy if that gray was doable to just slap a couple decals on it and say it's American CRJ-900. I may try it. But those gray colors on Shapeways, they look pretty dang dark. But I mean, honestly, maybe it's worth it. But I have confidence in GJ after what they have done recently with the Delta and potentially do an American one. Now, the Mesa House livery, if you don't know, is very simple. These subsidiaries do have house liveries. Most of them do. Mesa's is all white with, it says Mesa Airlines on the tail, and it has a black tail with Mesa Airlines text on it, and that's it. The rest of it's literally white. So it's a very easy custom to do. I'm really, really excited. I think it's going to go really well. Mesa, I believe, has 4 or 5 of these aircraft. 941, 942, 939 LRs. And then they also have 956 LR. And then I want to say there may be a 24 something in there as well. But I thought that this would be a really good opportunity to give it a try. We really need 900, so I thought that this would be the perfect time. I should be able to get some window decals like I talked about for this Challenger 300 and E135. Just simply print out window foils and then print out a little black tail, and then put Mesa Airlines on, or try to get the logo, the actual logo, and paste that onto a black CRJ-900 tail. And Aviation, thank you so much for making that tutorial. That's going to be very helpful for these because these are not easy to do, but he has it mastered, so I'm really, really excited. So that is the whole Shapeways lineup. I will line up everything, and then we will get some concluding thoughts and some final GA, civil, and military stuff. Alrighty, guys, so I have some thoughts here to talk about with potential ideas for custom models with Shapeways. I'm going to talk about my initial impressions on Shapeways. I'm going to talk about the time frames of these getting into the model airport updates, and then I will conclude the video. So, I do have a few thoughts to say about Shapeways. I'm going to start with those, and then the custom ideas, and then on to the conclusion. I'm very impressed. These are honestly really good. We're talking about stuff that's the size of fingers, and it's absolutely crazy that they can represent it. I mean, I'm really surprised you can even get a propeller on a Cessna 172 and 1-400. I mean, that's crazy. And guys, don't forget how small these are. I mean, just look. That is that's not a good way to show it. I mean, that's just crazy. Here's my hand. I mean, I can fit all these in my hand. They're so small. Not CRJ900, but honestly very impressive. So they're really, really good. I really, really like them. The only thing that I was a little skeptical on is the tail heavy, but honestly, my plan is I'm just gonna get a little hot glue and I'm gonna put it on the back of those aircraft and just do it like the Cessna is right there. I think it looks fine. Honestly, I'm very, very impressed with them, so I'm very pleased with that. I wish they had some color options on the printing for the smaller aircraft, but I'm sure that's just because they cannot print it like that. Therefore, it's impossible to do that. So it's okay, no big deal. It's just going to be really nice to finally have something to represent. So I already went over everything for these models in front of us, and I have quite a few ideas to go over. So I'm going to spend the video on that. I would go over everything again, but we have quite a lot of ideas. So GA. GA is so diverse, there's all kinds of stuff I can do. Here's what I'm thinking for the next GA order. The next Shapeways order, I'll probably do a lot in one. So here's my plans. My favorite GA aircraft as of right now is the G650. So that is definitely a must. I love the G650. It looks so nice. I probably made this order all the way back in January, honestly. So I didn't even know anything about GA. I just thought it'd be cool to have the aircraft, and here we are. So I'm thinking G650 for sure. Let's see here. Definitely some Learjets if they have any on there. Hopefully they have some 45, 60, 75, something like that. Would love to do some private Learjets. That would be awesome. Those would be really good. Let's see here. GA. Cessna 208 Caravans. We talked about that in the Albuquerque update. I would love to do some custom Cessna 208 Caravans for Albuquerque to fly, and then that would be really good. So that's definitely one, and then maybe keep one to do just a private aircraft. That would be awesome. That's ideal. So that's my plan for that. And then GA, there's quite a few things. Probably a Cessna Citation 680 since they're so common. That would be good. And then, I mean, there's all kinds of really unique aircraft. The Cessna 525 C-Jet, those are really common, whether it's the CJ1, CJ2, 3, 4. All those are really common, so that would be a nice add. The Phenom 300, if they have those, that would be awesome. There's a ton of Phenoms flying for FlexJet, NetJets, and all those guys, so a Phenom would be good. Sorry about the shadow. Let me just put you guys on the other side real quick. So like I said, tons of aircraft flying for all those guys, so Phenom would not be a bad option at all. Let's see here. GA, there's a lot, man. Definitely a Legacy 600, which is a 135 and a private jet, essentially. That wouldn't be a bad option. I could get another set of 135s and do that, and maybe a charter one or something like that. Let's see here. There's definitely some other ones that are definitely in consideration. There's like, I'm sure they probably have Baron 58s. I would not mind doing a few of those. So there's a lot of options. Definitely for rotation in the model airports, and just having the collection, that would be really good. So there's all kinds of potential. Some Cirruses for sure. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Really excited. Let me know which ones you guys would like me to get in the comment section. I mean, there's all kinds of variety. We're not really limited by any means with all the customization options. So let me know which ones you guys would like to see in the comment section. So there's all kinds of possibilities there. So that's the GA side of things. And then I'm going to talk about civil and then military. Civil is a little more simplistic because there are some options for customization, but there's not absolutely a crazy ton that I would like to do, but there is quite a bit. So obviously those 135s, that's awesome. CRJ 900s, obviously we have those two. And then, sorry, I'm talking a lot. And then I probably will get some gray ones because Mesa also has a variety of just blank gray livery 135, or sorry, CRJ 900s that they're flying around just like that. They do have the slanted winglets, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So I think I'll get quite a few of those. or potentially 2 more of those, or sorry guys, probably 2 of those, and just use both of them, and that would put us up to 4 total CRJ 900s. And if the color's good enough, maybe try an American custom and just make 10 of those. I don't know, that's not an impossibility. But I'm going to start with the Mesa House and see how that goes, and if it goes well, definitely order 2 gray ones and use those in model airports. And if we get up to 4 CRJ 900s, that would be crazy. I know they're not perfect American Eagle detail, really nice CRJ 900s, but honestly pretty dang impressive. So really liking that. That's CRJ 900, and then they have a lot of civil aircraft on there that has options. So you have the so here's the main thing that I'm thinking of as of right now. They have 737s on there, classics. Obviously Swift Air, especially during basketball season, and of course football season too, does a bunch of charters for all these guys that come into the those local airports. So I think a Swift Air IO Airways hybrid, like the one we saw in Spotting Vlog 11, 737 400 would be a really cool 737 to do. Those come in one set, so that would be a perfect one set. Get an all white fuselage and see if I can make that happen on a decal. So that's one. And then they also have an all-white livery with the blue tail, so that's another one. And then potentially maybe take a stab at, I don't know, there's some options in there, so that's definitely one to consider. And then they also have all kinds of stuff. I may try to take a stab at a A300 and see if I can do a FedEx custom. That's a big need. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of the brief rundown on the civil. Definitely all kinds of options, but yeah, not to drag it out. I know this video is long, so I'll just leave it there. As of for military, there's a ton of options. Obviously, Gemini Max makes a lot of the bigger military models, but there's still a lot of lack because of how small they are. So, or how small some aircraft are. So I'll talk about what I would like to do there. So there's quite a few aircraft that I would like to get because not only do they come to the airports a lot, but also just have in my collection because either I've seen them or just really like them. So there's a variety of military aircraft. I'll briefly go over them right now because there's quite a few. So the T-38 and the F-5, that's a very common visitor at Tulsa and then around these airports in my region. I'd really like to get a T-38 and maybe try to do a digital probably just a green touch-up spark and try to make a T-38. That would be really cool if I could pull that off. It would be really hard, but I would like to give that a try. That would be good. So T-38 definitely on the list, or F-5, whichever you want to word that as. I think they're a little different, but model-wise they wouldn't look too different. Kind of like Challenger 300 and 350. And then you have the what's it called? Tulsa Viper F-16s is definitely a custom idea I'd love to do. That's why I held off on getting any of those now because I was wondering if I could get the gray option because that would be really good. Just like that white, but just imagine it being gray. And I couldn't get the contact button to work on the guy's contact page, so unfortunately I don't think that's a possibility anyway, so I would probably just roll with the clear ones and then just spray paint them gray and use them because that would be awesome. That would be just like the Cessna, really hard to put detail on, but maybe it's worth trying. Obviously those are mainly gray, so that's literally perfect. So that's my plan, probably get about 10 of those because that's about how many there are, and then maybe try to construct the actual ramp area like they have in real life, or just use them in Tulsa. And then if they are all gray, just use them in a variety of airports too. F-18 definitely, those fly for a variety of guys. That would be awesome. And then F-15 also would not be out of the question. Those would be good. And then the A4s, there's quite a few of those flying around, so I would not mind getting some scooters. Just saw those at Tulsa. That spotting vlog will be coming soon, so that would be good. And then they have C-130s on there, but I think I may just get a model of that. I'll just be honest with you guys, I do have a model of that already here, so that'll be in massive unboxing coming up soon. So there's that. I need to double check their website. I wrote a whole list down, but I'm sure there's a few others that I may be missing. So yeah, that's kind of the military lineup. So yeah, that's kind of everything, guys. If you have any particular questions about any potential custom ideas, please let me know in the comment section, or any that you guys would recommend to me for my model airports or just for my collection in general. Would love making some of these custom models, and definitely with summer on the horizon, it's the perfect time to start it. So yeah, guys, that is the video. I'm sorry it was so long, but this is why I was not doing this in a massive unboxing, because I had a lot of explaining to do, especially about these GA aircraft. But I'm really excited about my new love for GA, and then finally being able to represent it in the model airports. That PC-12 will probably be the first to debut, because obviously I have the decals right here. Pop those on, and we're gonna be, excuse me, in good shape. Next up, I'll probably try to do those 900s and the 135s. I feel like I'll have the best luck with those. And then the Challenger and the Citations and the Cessna, I'll progressively try to work on those and see how they come out. But the Citations and the Cessna, it's going to be hard because I don't think I'm going to be able to make decals that small. It's not impossible because obviously we have it right here, but as of for me doing it and getting it to stick on there and stuff, that's going to be really tough. But yeah, guys, that is today's unboxing. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to make another order here in the next probably month or so. Kind of get your guys' comments in here, if you know what I mean, and kind of see what you guys may recommend. Maybe there's something I'm completely missing. Also thought for civil, potentially maybe try to do a Delta 175. Unfortunately, they do not have enhanced winglets yet on there. At least they only have the slanted winglets on the Ember 175. I could use it just as a Republic one just to have. Those don't fly to any of my airports, but you know, I guess it would be something. So, you know, it's definitely not impossible, and to do it for potentially as low as $15, that's not a bad idea. But GJ may just do one with enhanced winglets and solve all my problems with that. And I'm sure there's plenty of things to think about. I wanted to do V1 decals. Actually had some decals for 767s. I was very interested in the ABX Cargo and the Primaris that they had on there, but unfortunately I did not find any Shapeways 767s. I was a little bummed out about that because they have all kinds of stuff but no 767s. So maybe Shapeways will add those on, or maybe I can find some and do those. So yeah, there's a lot of customizability that will be coming. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, please comment, and I'll be excited to answer and do all that stuff. I'm sorry this video was like 45 minutes. Like I said, there was a ton to cover, but I really hope you guys appreciated the context and all that fun stuff that I went into, because like I said, there was a lot, and I feel like we did a very adequate job covering it. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys are ever doing any Shapeways stuff, and if you guys are, what all you're ordering. And please recommend anything ordered to me. I would be more than appreciative. Or anybody, there may be another V1 decals out there that makes decals or something like that that I'm way unaware of, or maybe another way to make decals. But I'm going to try Aviation's custom video, because I feel like that's probably my best bet, especially on those civil aircraft. So like I said, really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.